Hey YouTube, it's Wednesday the 21st of October 2020. Unbelievable that these leaves are staying on the trees. Since I've lived here, I've never seen leaves on the trees past the 15th. So pretty neat. Different kind of weather. So anyway, you can see the ground's still a little bit muddy, sort of. We've had rain for the past 2 or 3 days. But we had made a pattern from this of what I wanted for the stair treads, and we were going to use these. The problem with it is when we started putting stuff together or looking through it, the spindles that we were going to put in there were a lot smaller than what I want to use, with red oak. So that's a piece of plywood that's cut to be a stair tread on the spiral steps. This is one of the riser boards. But anyway, I want you to see what the real red oak looks like. It's so beautiful. Okay, so these are the red oak ones. Now this is the bottom of the step. He put screws through there to hold the pieces together. And what's nice about this, and I mean they're really, really nice compared to the plywood. See, the thing with the plywood is that along the edge, along this long edge here, you can't really do anything with plywood because, you could sand it off, you could put some putty on it and stuff, or even a piece of tape, that's like the wood, but it just doesn't have the same look. So anyway, I'm going to show you what this is like when it's polyurethane, because it's really nice. And I want to be able to put these on the steps up there rather than these plywood ones that we had originally made. And I've been waiting for years to be able to do this because I was just having trouble with the person that was supposedly wanting these things and not knowing what to do or spend any money. So anyway, this is Minwax. Let's see here, clear gloss. Now this is the step that you put your foot on to walk down the steps, the tread. But what I'm not doing here yet is I'm probably going to put a top coat of this on this that has sand in it. Okay, and that way it'll make it so that it's not slippery, because this will probably end up being slippery without the sand coat on there. But the point is look at how nice that looks once it's polyurethane. And it's a lot brighter to see when you're walking down the steps compared to what that dark one is. The dark one just messes your eyes up when you're trying to go up and down the steps, because with going in a circle, what you're ending up with is, a lot of different kind of light going against you. So you need to really have something that's bright and that reflects the light rather than absorbs the light. So this is going to be a much better tread. And I have to compliment carpenter Dave on what he's done here. I'm very happy with what he's put together for me here. Now normally I put all this stuff together myself, but my age is just kind of against me. Everything seems to be a headache to try to do because I'm so freaking tired all the time, or if not tired, just not ready to do something. Yeah, this is really nice. I love this. Now I know there's a lot of people out there with different opinions, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with your opinion, and you can certainly do whatever you want to this, but having a full-size red oak board, I mean, you can barely buy stuff that's full-size in pine or, some other crappy wood, less, something that's been mixed together, like particle board. You can barely buy that in a beautiful step, and here we have this solid red oak, and solid oak all the way through, which really is making this look nice for me, and I really want this. That's the whole purpose of buying the sawmill. The sawmill has paid for itself in so many ways. It paid for itself with the molding. It paid for itself with the flooring that the oak flooring that I've sold. It paid for itself with just regular boards, you know, for different things. The deck alone and all that stuff that's been paid for, or wood that I should say, that's in the greenhouse ready for use, has all been paid for already by using the sawmill. So this is how I'm going to do it. Like I say, I'm probably going to end up putting a coating on the top of here of a little bit of sand mixed with the polyurethane. But for now, this is just the first coat, and this is all I wanted to do, was just see what it looks like. It's beautiful. Very nice. Really nice. So I've actually been staining these this morning prior to making the video, but I'm just hoping that you're seeing what I'm seeing here, at how nice this really is. I need to set this somewhere else and polyurethane another one. Now those straight boards there are basically like risers. Those straight boards are to guarantee me that I don't have more than a 4-inch opening. Where the tread, from one tread to another. That's all that is. I'll tell you what though, this red oak is really nice. Really came out nice. It's so much smoother and so much better looking than what the you know, the original boards were, the plywood. Don't get me wrong, the plywood looks nice. It's not that bad. But like I say, the color with coming down the spiral steps, because you're going in a circle, and there's all kinds of things that you're coming up against, you know, as far as light goes, you kind of lose the ability to see this tread properly. And I think that this lighter color here is the way to go. I really do. So we put this on here, leave it dry, and then probably another 2 coats of this. The last one with sand, but we'll see how it looks. Yeah, I find this for my eyes to be very nice. Got it pulled together nice, got it glued nice, everything is nice on these. You did a good job. They're not real fancy, and I'm not looking for them to be fancy. What I'm looking for them is to be long-lasting and solid wood. That's the whole purpose of having the sawmill, to be able to accomplish those goals that, you know, just going to the lumber yard trying to buy stuff would almost be impossible. I mean, it's very hard to buy things that are finished like this in this width. I believe this is 19 inches wide at this far radius end here. Beautiful. This has been sitting in the greenhouse for 2 years drying. Actually, it sat out in a kiln. I should say it was in the kiln for 3 months. It took the moisture content down to 6. And then I put it back into the greenhouse to store it. And I would say it probably gained a little bit of moisture in the greenhouse. I would think that, you know, that would not be unheard of. But it didn't earn a lot, because it gets very hot in there. Oh yeah. Probably without the machining work here, or what should I say instead of machining, without the labor to make the step and, you know, do what's been done here, you're looking at there's probably 2.5 board feet in every one of these. So, you know, in order to just get an idea of the price of what that would be, 2.5 board feet would be 16 17, 18, 19, $20 a piece, which is cheap in its own right for something like that. But then the putting of them together, probably, let's see here. Yeah, the putting of them together would probably add another $20 to each one, maybe $15. So you're looking at, 8, 16, and then 20 for the wood, and another 20. So that's $40 per step. That's, not exactly cheap, but at the same time, it's all red oak. It's not, something that you're going to have problems with later on. And even if I do have problems with red oak, I have so much red oak sitting over in my greenhouse that I could make 50 of these pairs of steps and it would never just about dent the freaking amount of wood I have over there. So I've been very pleased with what he did here and what I wanted done, and it looks good. Yep. To have that as a step, when you think about how much things cost, this really pays for itself. I mean, the sawmill, I can't explain to you I've been trying to explain it in my many videos, but having the sawmill and having it do what it does, and taking advantage of that, it just gives you a beautiful pieces of wood to work with. You can't beat this. I mean, like I say, if you try to go to Lowe's and buy what I have here, you're going to pay a fortune for something like this, and then you're going to have to put it all together. So, very pleased with how this came out. It's amazing how pretty red oak actually is. It's just a tree to most people sitting there, a lot of people firewood, and for the longest time I was cutting probably 2 or 3 red oak trees down a year for firewood. And every time I cut one down and I cut it open and split it and it was straight grained, I would say to myself, man, this should not be firewood. This was like 10 years before I got the sawmill. I said that to myself every year. So now, having this, as the wood that I would normally burn, and having it made into these stair treads, it just makes this whole thing worth the effort. All of the cutting of the trees, dragging them out of the woods, cutting everything into boards on the sawmill, and then drying it properly. That's the biggest thing. I can't stress to you enough that if you want to have nice lumber, all you got to do is dry it nice. Cut it to the same size, and then dry it nice. That's the whole point of having nice lumber. I can't wait to show you this when it's put together. Between this and the stairwell spindles, I think this is going to be very pretty. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the top of this yet, as far as the actual handrail. I've been looking at it and trying to decide, but we'll figure something out here. I'm glad it stopped raining. The rain we needed, but the thing is it rained slowly. No big storms, but a good amount of water. It rains slowly, and the water's not even running down the street. which means that the ground has been absorbing it. And that's good because that's what we needed around here. I figured if we had 3 days of nice steady rain, that would fill up the wells and the water table. And I believe that it's pretty much done that. So I thank God for that. I've used this kind of brush to put this stuff on for 50 years. I like these kind of brushes. Yeah, can't beat that. You can see like over here there's a dry spot. That means it's soaking the stain out of the polyurethane in a little quicker. And that's fine, because the good thing about polyurethane is once you put it on, it seals the wood and the wood doesn't absorb moisture or lose moisture too quickly. And that'll keep the step from moving around. Okay guys, so there's one more left besides this one. And there's actually a extra step just in case, which is good. Really nice, very nice. Very happy with this. What I was saying about these edges here, if the edges are made out of either particle board or you know, some other composite like plywood, they're usually end up being kind of fuzzy, and the wood sort of falls out, you know, the little particle pieces. But solid wood like this, you don't have that problem. So one more and those stair treads are done. Okay, so I started working on these riser boards here now. These small boards are a riser, but on the bottom of the board there'll be an opening in the step. So makes that opening not be more than 4 inches. And that's what I needed that to be. So anyway, they're looking really good. You know, I really like the typical red oak, but the ones that have knots and stuff, and you just can't beat it. It's just a very nice looking grain. Okay guys, so I need to finish up the rest of these boards. I hope you enjoyed this video and can appreciate what this is going to look like once it's on the steps. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's going to be well worth the time we took to make it. Have a good one.